This is a skyscraper that just shouldn't exist. It's taller than the Eiffel Tower, but is built on a footprint smaller than a basketball court. It's an engineering marvel that cost over $1.5 billion to create, a building that basically spits in the face of physics. So why has it been called part of a vertical ghost town, a building plagued by lawsuits and reports of terrifying failures? In the heart of Manhattan, on a stretch of super expensive real estate known as Billionaires Row, a new icon has pierced the sky. 111 West 57th Street, or the Steinway Tower, isn't the tallest building in New York, but it is without a doubt the skinniest. In fact, it holds the title of the world's most slender skyscraper, a needle of glass and terracotta so impossibly thin it almost looks like a special effect. Completed in 2021, it represents a new breed of ultra-luxury, super skinny towers designed not just as homes, but as statements. But behind that shimmering facade and all the record-breaking stats lies a much more complicated story. This is a tale of insane ambition colliding with the harsh realities of physics, finance, and what it's actually like to live 90 stories up in the air. To understand the paradox of this tower, you first have to appreciate the sheer audacity of its design. So, how do you build a stable structure 1,428 feet tall on a patch of land that's only about 60 feet wide? That gives it a slenderness ratio of 24:1, meaning it's 24 times taller than it is wide. To put that in perspective, a standard pencil is only about 30 times longer than it is wide. Architects have been pushing height for over a century, but slenderness is a whole different beast. The main enemy isn't gravity, it's the wind. For a building this thin, even a steady breeze can cause the top floors to sway several feet from side to side. A major storm? That's a potentially catastrophic force. The team at Shop Architects and WSP Structural Engineers had to basically throw out the old playbook. A typical skyscraper has a steel skeleton with columns running through the interior. But for the clientele on Billionaires Row, who demand totally unobstructed, 360-degree views, big columns in the middle of the room were a non-starter. So, the engineers got creative. Instead of a skeleton, they gave the building a spine. The tower's strength comes from two massive walls made of high-strength concrete, each several feet thick, running along the east and west sides of the building. These shear walls act like two colossal bookends, bracing the building against the wind and allowing every single floor to be a wide-open space, with nothing between the resident and their multi-million-dollar view of Central Park. To make this happen, they needed a special concrete formula, with some batches rated to withstand 14,000 pounds per square inch. That's like stacking 3 monster trucks on a single postage stamp. This concrete was essential to give the impossibly thin walls the rigidity they needed to climb nearly a third of a mile into the sky. But even with its mighty spine, the tower needed one more critical piece of hardware to tame the wind. At the very top, tucked into the building's crown, sits an 800-ton tuned mass damper. Think of it as a giant pendulum, a massive block of steel suspended on cables. When the wind pushes the building one way, the damper swings in the opposite direction, canceling out the vibrations and keeping the sway from making you sick. It's an ingenious solution to a physics problem of their own making, and a testament to just how far engineering can go. This tower wasn't just built, it was sculpted against the forces of nature. On paper, it's a triumph. A perfect fusion of the landmark 1925 Steinway Hall at its base with futuristic engineering reaching for the clouds. But what happens when the very solutions that make it a marvel also become the source of its problems? This is where things start to show some cracks, both literally and figuratively. First, there's the price. A project this complex doesn't come cheap. With a final cost that spiraled, the apartments were priced into the stratosphere. The building contains around 60 residences in total, 14 in the original Steinway building and the rest in the tower. While some fetched tens of millions, the penthouse was rumored to be seeking over $100 million. These astronomical costs dictate the building's purpose. These aren't primary homes for New York families. They are assets. Safe deposit boxes in the sky, primarily purchased by a global elite to store wealth, and often sitting empty for most of the year. This is the central paradox of Billionaires Row. creating residential ghost towns in one of the densest cities on Earth, with reports suggesting nearly half the units in the area are unoccupied. But the emptiness isn't the only issue. The building's extreme design has allegedly created unsettling problems for residents. While a nearby tower, 432 Park Avenue, became famous for complaints of loud booms from its trash chute and creaking noises from the building swaying, 111 West 57th has faced its own series of high-profile troubles. The tower became a case study in the perils of ultra-luxury development, with a long list of lawsuits and scary incidents. During construction in October 2020, high winds from a storm caused the construction crane to swing wildly, sending debris falling onto the street below and forcing police to shut down multiple blocks. It was a terrifying reminder of a similar incident just down the street during Hurricane Sandy, which happened 8 years earlier to the day. The developers also launched lawsuits against their own contractors, including one against an heating, ventilation, and air conditioning company for allegedly improper work that caused water damage on 10 floors. This was just one of many legal battles with investors and partners over the project's financing, painting a picture of a building under immense stress long before anyone ever moved in. So, what does this all mean? 111 West 57th Street is a staggering achievement. It answers the question, can we do this? With a resounding yes. We can build a skyscraper as thin as a feather that can withstand a hurricane. We can craft apartments in the clouds with uninterrupted views to the horizon. But in the process, it raises a much more important question. Should we? The building is an empty marvel. A structure engineered for stability that is part of a neighborhood where few people seem to actually reside. It's a breathtaking addition to the skyline that offers its best views to a handful of people who may only see them a few weeks a year. This tower is the physical embodiment of a bigger trend in global cities. It's a monument to wealth inequality, where the very fabric of the city is reshaped to cater to a transient class of the ultra-rich. The engineering is brilliant, but the social problem it creates is profound. We have entire residential districts that are dark at night, not because of a power failure, but because nobody's home. The story of 111 West 57th is one of incredible engineering pushed to its absolute limit. We've talked about the world's skinniest skyscraper, but what about the one that actually started to lean? Let us know in the comments if you want us to do a deep dive on 161 Maiden Lane, another one of New York's troubled towers. And for more investigations into the world's most ambitious and controversial projects, make sure you subscribe. In the end, 111 West 57th Street stands as a paradox. It's a masterpiece of modern engineering and, at the same time, a symbol of a city at odds with itself. It's a beautiful object that many can see, but few can access, and even fewer actually use. The architects and engineers successfully solved the challenge of building a needle in the sky. But the tower leaves us with a much bigger, unanswered question. Are we building cities for people to live in, or just building assets to be stored? 111 West 57th reached for the sky, an incredible feat of ambition. But in doing so, it may have lost its connection to the ground. If this tower blew your mind, you'll like what's next. There are 2 more videos on the channel that dive into ambitious projects where cutting-edge design meets real-world consequences. Click one of them now and subscribe for more engineering stories that push the limits.